Who are we and who is this for? So to introduce myself, my name is Keely Rowell. I'm a category manager at the Commercial and Procurement Shared Service for Aberdeen City Council, Aberdeenshire Council and the Highland Council. Today I predominantly have my Aberdeen City Council hat on, but I've always got all of my hats nearby. I am based in Aberdeen, and the same as the employability team that are here today, but procurement also have colleagues that are based in the Highland Council as well. So to give a wee bit of context, CPSS, we are a team of category managers and we have a remit for managing the overview of contracted spend for a particular area. So my remit covers human resources, business support and health. So I would manage the overview for all of those contracts that sit under that for all three councils, including the arrangements that are in place for the provision of employability services for all three councils. So wherever possible, we will at the very least provide opportunity for all three councils to purchase from any contract or framework we put in place. But best case scenario, we would have a full-on aggregated agreement and reap the benefits of one agreement for all three councils. So for this particular procurement, Aberdeen City Council is the lead, with Aberdeenshire and Highland Council being named parties. So it could be that Aberdeenshire Council come on board and they might purchase from this, or Highland might come on board later on. They actually have their own framework agreement, so you know, it's up to them whether or not they would like to join in, but there is absolutely no obligation on either side here. So there's no expectation that a small business in Aberdeen would be expected to provide a service in Wick, for example. So you just bid for what's suitable for your business. So I've been working with the employability team for the last few months, and we decided the most flexible way to cover the ever-changing needs of employability was to employ a similarly flexible procurement route. So that is why we have picked the dynamic purchasing system. So what is a DPS? It's very similar to a framework agreement. So a few providers are on it who are all open then to compete for work under something called a mini competition, where you would answer your quality questions and submit your pricing. So a DPS mini competition is effectively the same as that. The big difference being that when suppliers get onto a framework, that's it for the entire length of the framework. There's no one new that's going to come on. So you would have 4 years of the same providers. And as I'm sure you know, the employability landscape is constantly changing. Political decisions, funding arrangements are changing. Local authorities in general, how they provide their services are always changing. So we needed something quite flexible. So a DPS, the main difference is that it allows for new suppliers to come on board at any time during the life of the DPS. So although obviously the sooner you join, the sooner you get opportunities. So please don't wait, just join. It's split into lots. So our employability colleagues will run through what those lots look like, but you can choose which lots you want to sign up for by what's relevant to your business. So this was to allow for smaller businesses to be able to compete rather than just having one lot for all of our requirements. So I'll explain a wee bit more about what you need to do on the next slide, but you basically onboard onto the DPS by passing a series of proportionate questions about your business. So these are set by the Scottish Government in something called a single procurement document, or an SPD. We'll ask questions around financial status, experience, your business constitution, information in relation to any criminal convictions. And if you pass that, you are then on the DPS. Later on, we'll then issue mini competitions. So where we have a specific requirement or outcome that we need the winning bidder to meet, we'll issue it to all the suppliers that are on that lot. And you would tell us how you would do this, you would tell us how much it would cost, and then we evaluate it and award you the contract should you be successful. So there's 2 separate stages to this, getting onto the DPS and then doing your mini competition for the actual contract. So the advantages of doing this is that we can focus locally on our requirements. We're giving people who provide services in Aberdeen a chance to bid. It provides us with flexibility in a changing landscape. It's perpetually open, so new bidders can come on board at any time. And it allows us to flex our supply base to meet the needs of the people of Aberdeen. It can also provide a collaborative opportunity. So we might be able to run a mini competition for Aberdeen City and Shire, for example. We can do that under one agreement. But to stress again, there's absolutely no obligation on either side for you to bid for a mini competition. If you read the documentation and you feel that it wouldn't be appropriate for your business, or you don't have capacity at the moment, you know, you don't need to bid. Although I am obviously keen for you to come on board, and I am also keen for you to bid. The DPS will last for 5 years in length, so quite a long time to get involved as well. With regards to our timelines, so you'll see there at stage 1, sorry, I'll start again. So I explained there's stages to this. Don't ask me why this is the case, but stage 1 is the onboarding. I've spoken about that before. But in terms of the legislation, we have to have it open for 30 days, and then it closes, and then it instantly reopens again for the rest of the length of the contract. So that 30-day section there, we've already had that, and it closed on the 5th, which was Monday just past. So that post-cleanse stage mentioned there, that's live now all the way for the remainder of the 5 years, that's now open. So you can find that on PCS and PCST. So Jill will explain a wee bit more about that, and better than I can. But basically, complete your SPD and your other associated documents. I've provided a wee checklist within the ITT, and upload them and submit them to us. So the stage 2 there at the bottom, that's in relation to the mini competitions that we just spoke about. I'll speak about that a wee bit more in the next slide, but generally they will be live for a minimum of 2 weeks. And I've popped at the bottom there that dates are indicative and may change at the discretion of the council. So we're giving you the estimated dates of when everything's going to happen. So mini competitions. A mini competition is basically for actual service requirements. So we will, in the main, be looking for bidders to tell us how they'll meet the outcomes through the unique offerings that your businesses have to provide. We will tell you what we're after, but we don't expect to be massively prescriptive. We'll really be looking for your input as well on how best to provide the service. So the way that we determine best value through that is to assess our price and quality using our evaluation criteria. So we use method statements generally. So we'll tell you what we need within our statement of requirements, and we'll be looking for you to provide a statement on how you would achieve that for us. So the better the statement, the better the quality score. We then tally up the price and quality scores in line with the percentages that you'll see in the ITT for the DPS, and that's how we assess best value. We provide you with feedback to help you next time should you be unsuccessful, and we may also conduct some market analysis with you. So we would want to speak to our partner DPS suppliers to see what's possible before we conduct our procurement. Generally, we'll advertise this opportunity for a minimum of 2 weeks. It could be for longer. And the contract length for these opportunities will generally be around a year. In terms of the practical side, the mini competition opportunities will be advertised on PCS rather than PCST. So these will be done as a quick quote on PCS. So you'll receive an email alert. It's absolutely vital. So please, please, please make sure that you're registered on PCS and that the council have the correct contact name and your details for any correspondence so that we can find you on PCS easily and alert you to the opportunity. Please keep any details with us up to date. You can then complete the prescribed document and upload it through the website's postbox. If you've got any questions about the procurement itself or our requirements, there's a Q&A functionality on both of the websites. Just to let you know, the answers to those may be shared with all the other bidders as well. The Supplier Development Programme offer a wide range of resources to support you with your tendering, so I would really, really recommend their assistance as well. And if you're struggling with PCS or PCST, and I can say from experience, because buyers have bad days too, they are actually really, really helpful on PCS and PCST, their helpline services. So please do take them up on that. And that's it from me. So thank you very much for listening to me today. We're obviously a bit limited in what we can answer because this is a live procurement, but we will be taking questions at the end. So if you've got anything that you'd like to know, please pop it in the chat and I'd be happy to answer.